The element hydrogen is represented as H and has an atomic number of 1. The element helium is represented as He and has an atomic number of 2. The element lithium is represented as Li and has an atomic number of 3. The element beryllium is represented by Be and has an atomic number of 4. The element boron is represented as B and has an atomic number of 5. The element carbon is represented as C and has an atomic number of 6. The element nitrogen is represented as N and has an atomic number of 7. The element oxygen is represented as O and has an atomic number of 8. The element fluorine is represented as F and has an atomic number of 9. The element neon is represented as Ne and has an atomic number of 10. The element sodium is represented as Na and has an atomic number of 11. The element magnesium is represented as Mg and has an atomic number of 12. The element aluminum is represented as Ai and has an atomic number of 13. The element silicon is represented as Si and has an atomic number of 14. The element phosphorus is represented as P and has an atomic number of 15. The element sulfur is represented as S and has an atomic number of 16. The element chlorine is represented as Cl and has an atomic number of 17. The element argon is represented as Ar and has an atomic number of 18. The element potassium is represented as K and has an atomic number of 19. The element calcium is represented as Ca and has an atomic number of 20. The element scandium is represented as Sc and has an atomic number of 21. The element titanium is represented as Ti and has an atomic number of 22. The element vanadium is represented as V and has an atomic number of 23. The element chromium is represented as Cr and has an atomic number of 24. The element manganese is represented as Mn and has an atomic number of 25. The element iron is represented as Fe and has an atomic number of 26. The element cobalt is represented as Co and has an atomic number of 27. The element nickel is represented as Ni and has an atomic number of 28. The element copper is represented as Cu and has an atomic number of 29. The element zinc is represented by Zn and has an atomic number of 30. The element gallium is represented as Ga and has an atomic number of 31. The element germanium is represented as Ge and has an atomic number of 32. The element of arsenic is represented as As and has an atomic number of 33. The element selenium is represented as Se and has an atomic number of 34. The element bromine is represented as Br and has an atomic number of 35. The element krypton is represented as Kr and has an atomic number of 36. The element rubidium is represented as Rb and has an atomic number of 37. Element strontium is represented as Sr and has an atomic number of 38. The element yttrium is represented as Y and has an atomic number of 39. The element zirconium is represented as Zr and has an atomic number of 40. The element niobium is represented as Nb and has an atomic number of 41. The element molybdenum is represented as Mo and has an atomic number of 42. The element technetium is represented as Tc and has an atomic number of 43. The element ruthenium is represented as Ru and has an atomic number of 44. The element rhodium is represented as Rh and has an atomic number of 45. The element palladium is represented as Pb and has an atomic number of 46. The element silver is represented as Ag and has an atomic number of 47. The element of cadmium is represented as Cd and has an atomic number of 48. The element indium is represented as In and has an atomic number of 49. The element tin is represented as Sn and has an atomic number of 50. The element antimony is represented as Sb and has an atomic number of 51. The element tellurium is represented as Te and has an atomic number of 52. The element iodine is represented as I and has an atomic number of 53. The element xenon is represented as Xe and has an atomic number of 54. The element cesium is represented as Cs and has an atomic number of 55. The element barium is represented as Ba and has an atomic number of 56. The element lanthanum is represented as La and has an atomic number of 57. The element cerium is represented as Ce and has an atomic number of 58. The element praseodymium is represented as Pr and has an atomic number of 59. The element neodymium is represented as Nd and has an atomic number of 60. The element promethium is represented as Pm and has an atomic number of 61. The element samarium is represented as Sm and has an atomic number of 62. The element europium is represented as Eu and has an atomic number of 63. The element gadolinium is represented as Gd and has an atomic number of 64. The element terbium is represented as Td and has an atomic number of 65. The element dysprosium is represented as Dy and has an atomic number of 66. The element holmium is represented as Ho and has an atomic number of 67. The element erbium is represented as Er and has an atomic number of 68. The element thulium is represented as Tm and has an atomic number of 69. The element ytterbium is represented as Yb and has an atomic element of 70. The element lutetium is represented as Lu and has an atomic number of 71. The element hafnium is represented as Hf and has an atomic number of 72. The element tantalum is represented as Ta and has an atomic number of 73. The element tungsten is represented as W and has an atomic number of 74. The element rhenium is represented as Re and has an atomic number of 75. The element osmium is represented as Os and has an atomic number of 76. The element iridium is represented as Ir and has an atomic number of 77. The element platinum is represented as Pt and has an atomic number of 78. The element gold is represented as Au and has an atomic number of 79. The element mercury is represented as Hg and has an atomic number of 80. The element thallium is represented by Tl and has an atomic number of 81. The element lead is represented as Pb and has an atomic number of 82. The element bismuth is represented as Bi and has an atomic number of 83. The element polonium is represented as Po and has an atomic number of 84. The element astatine is represented as At and has an atomic number of 85. The element radon is represented as Rn and has an atomic number of 86. The element francium is represented as Fr and has an atomic number of 87. The element radium is represented as Ra and has an atomic number of 88. The element actinium is represented as Ac and has an atomic number of 89. The element thorium is represented as Th and has an atomic number of 90. The element protactinium is represented as Pa and has an atomic number of 91. The element uranium is represented as U and has an atomic number of 92. The element neptunium is represented as Np and has an atomic number of 93. The element plutonium is represented as Pu and has an atomic number of 94. The element americium is represented as Am and has an atomic number of 95. The element curium is represented as Cm and has an atomic number of 96. The element berkelium is represented as Bk and has an atomic number of 97. The element californium is represented as Cf and has an atomic number of 98. The element einsteinium is represented as Es and has an atomic number of 99. The element fermium is represented as Fm and has an atomic number of 100. The element mendelevium is represented as Md and has an atomic number of 101. The element nobelium is represented as No and has an atomic number of 102. The element lawrencium is represented as Lr and has an atomic number of 103. The element rutherfordium is represented as Rf and has an atomic number of 104. The element dubnium is represented as Db and has an atomic number of 105. The element seaborgium is represented as Sg and has an atomic number of 106. The element borium is represented as Bh and has an atomic number of 107. The element hassium is represented as Hs and has an atomic number of 108. The element meitnerium is represented as Mt and has an atomic number of 109. The element darmstadtium is represented as Ds and has an atomic number of 110. The element roentgenium is represented as Rg and has an atomic number of 111. The element copernicium is represented as Cn and has an atomic number of 112. The element yttrium is represented as UUT and has an atomic number of 113. The element fleurivium is represented as Fl and has an atomic number of 114. The element unipentium is represented as UUP and has an atomic number of 115. The element livermorium is represented as Lv and has an atomic number of 116. The element uniseptium is represented as UUS and has an atomic number of 117. The element uninonctium is represented as UUO and has an atomic number of 118.